When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.
Welcome to another episode of MUGA, the day after the big game against Liverpool, and we got a new cast, a diverse cast with us. After a long time abroad in Ghana, he's back with us, flying out in a pandemic, risking COVID for us and these people. We got Stevie. What's going on, my guy?
Yeah, man, Aquaba. No, giving them that
Yee, teach us, man. Teach us. We need to learn.
I know I'm not here by choice. You know, I had to get my flight back. Otherwise, I would have stayed if I didn't lose my phone. I'm not even gonna lie. I would have stayed the whole of January, but yeah, we're back.
Come back and suffer with us, man. We want you to be here with us, man.
It's miserable out here, man.
Yeah, come and suffer, man. Come and suffer. This is how it is in the UK. Rodney, it's been a minute, fam. It's been a minute. What's going on?
Bro, it's been a hot minute. I don't even know the last pod that I've been on, man. But I'm back.
You're back.
I'm here, ready to
back
go.
With your outrageous takes and your...
Come on.
You had to pokes a few people. Okay, and last but not least, man like Aka. You've been consistent the last few weeks.
Yeah, I'm doing my best Harry Maguire impression. Just getting my minutes in.
Did you prepare that one earlier?
No,
he's had that all day.
That's off the cuff.
All day.
Harry Maguire off the cuff, man. Off the cuff. Just like Harry Maguire. Off the cuff.
So before we get into it, we're going to plug our partners. Obviously, you guys should already know about our partners, Fanslide, the in-play app. I don't know. Did you guys play it yesterday during the Liverpool game? Stevie, who was your home player yesterday?
You know, I backed Bruno to the death, innit? So he had a shocking first half, and he had a shocking second half too. So to be honest, it didn't matter which 20 minutes you picked him in for, you were always going to lose. But I thought he might sneak in with a goal 75 to 90th minute, because I think we scored the most goals in the 90th minute from any other Premier compared to any other Premier League side. So I was hoping he might come good in the last 15, last 20. He didn't. So yeah, I didn't do very well.
He had that chance. He could have buried it. That could have got you some points, man. Aka, who was your main player yesterday? Who was you kind of betting on yesterday with Fanslide?
I had a feeling Martial was going to score yesterday, but I knew he'd be the first person off. So I went with him just after half time, and he flopped. But it is what it is. We moved.
Cavani came on for him in the 60th minute. So if you guys aren't aware, Fanslide, our partner app, man, it's an in-play app, free to use, free to download. It's an opportunity. If you think you're that master tactician, get involved. A chance to win a share of £100 if you get the most points. Play against other people online. Play against your friends. Play against us. Compete with us. So get involved. And also, another thing to plug is our YouTube. We've got a YouTube up. You'll see that we've got some post-game reactions on there. So get involved in that and subscribe to that. The visuals for this pod will be on there in a couple of days. But without further ado, let's get into yesterday's game, man. And Stevie, I'm going to give you the first opportunity to talk because you haven't been on here in a little while. What did you think about our 0-0 draw of Liverpool?
Yeah, it was that match was arse, man. That was, you know what's mad, yeah? Every year on Sky Sports, they must spend millions gassing up this game. Gassing it for a week, 2 weeks. All I was seeing was articles. I even got gassed. I was on Twitter watching compilations like 10 minutes long at like 2 a.m. in the night, like proper pump for this match. And then it come about. And of course, like it's a 0-0 ball draw. Like that was a terrible match of football. I mean, the result on the face of it, it's not a bad result. I mean, Anfield away, drawing into the champions. It's progress, isn't it? Like this time last year, we probably wouldn't have got that result. So we can see we've moved forward. But I think one thing that's probably frustrated a few United fans is that we're like the maybe almost team at the minute. So in all the semi-finals we've played in, we haven't had enough quality to sort of get over the line. Yesterday was another game where really, if you want to be champions, those are the games. I know it's a difficult one, but those are the games you really want to be pushing on and getting that win. And again, just about, I think we showed that we've got quality, but championship level quality to win the title, I still think there's a gap there and there's a bit missing. So It was bittersweet, I think. Decent performance overall, but I thought we could have showed a bit more initiative towards the end. On another day, maybe Pogba, Bruno would have finished their chances and we would have been complaining. So, yeah, man. If I look at it, on the face of it, it's not a bad result, and I can't be too mad. But yeah, tinge of disappointment, man.
But Rodney, isn't it a good thing to leave Anfield disappointed that we haven't taken all 3 points? That's progress for Man United, right?
Yeah, well, recently it's definitely progress to leave Anfield feeling disappointed with only a point. I think last season we lost there 2-0 and we weren't really in the game at all. So yeah, it's result wise, as long as we beat Fulham, a point at that point is a good point. If we don't really beat Fulham, then it's kind of 2 points dropped, especially with the chances Bruno and Pogba had late on. I think it's the Pogba chance and the Bruno chance that is leaving most of us so disappointed. Because had we not have had those chances, I think I would have wiped my forehead and said, "Phew, we've come away with a point." But late on, those chances there, you just feel like those are the ones that keep you up at night because you feel that goes in. We're 6 points clear. We've beaten Liverpool at Anfield. We've ended their run. The trajectory for us then is it's only up. We can only get better now. And then we're looking at the Fulham game like, yeah, we're definitely going to win that, or it doesn't really play a big part. But yeah, I feel like it's definitely progress because I think last time we were 30 points behind and now we're top of it, 3 points clear. So it's definitely progress. Let me not be too down on the result. It's definitely progress for sure.
But Aka, this was Liverpool without Van Dijk, without Joe Gomez, having Henderson and Fabinho playing centre back. Should we have taken all 3 points?
Well, yeah, the way the match went, like Rodney said, we can be upset. We should have won the game, I thought. Liverpool showed us a lot of respect, so I think that's progress on our side. Like last year, they just dashed us aside. They put us away 2-0. They were whatever 104 points clear last year, and they got well clear of us. This year, Klopp showed us respect throughout the whole 90 minutes. He knew about our threat, and I think Klopp was happy with the point. The issue for me is I think we showed them a lot of respect. Yes, they are champions. Yes, they have been great last 2-3 years, but you're not going to get a better chance to win at Anfield personally because they've got a couple of key injuries and there's no fans. We're underestimating. When do we go to Anfield without fans? That place is rocking when United roll into town. And the fans are on our necks from the first minute. Yesterday, that element was taken away. And you can see the Liverpool players were nervous and they were cagey. And normally, your fans get you through these kind of games. But last night, they had no fans to get them through the game. So we won't get a better chance for me, personally, to beat a Klopp side at Anfield. So yes, there is the element of regret. But I suppose you need to have a vision of the bigger picture. Clear progress is being made. But yeah, it's 2 points dropped.
2 points dropped. 2 points dropped. Yeah, especially that Paul Pogba chance. I think I've heard the Bruno one. You'd like him to do better, but Bruno's having a stink fest, and usually he has that mentality where he puts those chances, he'll just bang it in. You're thinking, how have you done this? You're doing a 2 out of 10, but somehow you bang this in. But the Pogba one, that's the one where I'm like, come on, Labille.
Yeah,
come on, Labille.
You know why it's so disappointing? His first touch was so good that he could have picked any corner.
Woo!
He's literally, Alisson hasn't had to save that. It's literally hit Alisson. And I feel like this match is like, it was billed as the crescendo of his United career. Like, if he scores that mad thing, like, that was his moment. Like, it was literally set up for him. And he hit the keeper, man. It's so disappointing. But I mean, he didn't play badly, but yeah, just like personal disappointment for him. This must be mad for that.
No, of course. Because obviously you got the win against Burnley, and as you say, if he gets the winner away to Liverpool, takes us clear, then it's almost like the performances of the past where he's been below par. You start forgetting them. You start forgiving him, don't you? Yeah. He played on the right wing and then on the left wing. What do you think about how we set up yesterday, Rodney? What did you think about our setup, the formation and the personnel?
The formation the formation. It was either that or three at the back. So I'm going to happy with the 4-2-3-1 because we're not going to go anything else other than those two. I thought I wasn't. You know what? I don't think Ollie played the team that was in front of him. I think he played the reputation because I don't understand the need to play McFred in that game I think he could have been a bit more braver, if I'm honest with you. Liverpool have got injuries; they're not in the best moment. I think he sort of played their reputation there by going with McFred, and it kind of showed in the game. It's just if there's, I think he's going on how they performed last season in big games, McFred, because when we played them last season, I think we went. What did we do? We beat Liverpool 1-0. Then we beat
Liverpool.
Chelsea 2-1. No, we drew with Liverpool 1-1, sorry. Then
at home,
Chelsea,
yeah.
Then we beat Chelsea 2-1 away. We beat Spurs 2-1 at home. Then City, what's that? 2-1 away. And then we drew with Spurs 1-1 towards the end of the season. So our record with McFred last season was really good. But I think this season, big games are just a little bit different in the sense that teams are showing us respect now. So there's not that space for McFred to do what they need to do because they do need time and they do need space. And where that's not available now, I just think they're rendered useless, and we saw that in the game. And when the space opened up late on, you started seeing Fred and McTominay getting into the game because there was more space. Liverpool were tiring, and there wasn't that press there. So I think he needs to be a bit more braver. For me, he had to go with Matic and Pogba in the middle, and then go with whoever in the front three. You need as much technical ability across the midfield as you can, because as you saw with Liverpool, they have technical ability everywhere. They have it all the time. Who do they play in midfield? Who was it?
Thiago, Gini,
Wijnaldum,
Gini Wijnaldum, and Shaqiri. Like that technical ability there. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Like I think we was talking about in the group chat. If you laid all 6 of those midfielders down, like our 3 is the bottom 3.
Oh, facts.
By some distance, and I think when you go into games against Klopp, you need high quality technical players, and I feel like he could have gone with Matic and Pogba, just been a little bit more braver. But I guess you're going to Anfield. But I'm trying not to be too critical of him because he's doing as much as he can for the manager. I feel he is. So I'm trying not to be too critical. But I thought we could have been a bit more positive. And the way the game panned out, I suppose he can say, well, in the last 10-15 minutes we had chances to win that game, but we could have been out of it in the first 35. So
there was a lot of pressure on us in the first 35. Yeah, go off.
No, I was gonna say I hear you, Rodney. Like I agree largely with it, but then also on the flip side, it is the champions. It is away at Anfield where they haven't lost in like Lord knows how long. So I know everyone like hates McFred, and we all know their limitations, but I think because he's tried and trusted with them, and I don't mean trusted in terms of we always win games when we play them, but we don't really lose when we play them 2 together. So I wasn't angry at him starting with them. I just think he probably should have brought on Van der Beek or Matic earlier on in the second half, where we saw the game was up there to be taken, to be won, and he probably should have kept Martial on. He was keeping the ball better than any of our other forwards. And maybe I think that's where like a big manager might have just taken Bruno off earlier and seen that like this game is not his. But I'm not mad at him for his starting lineup. I'm not mad at him for keeping Bruno on either. But I just thought we could have thrown more at the kitchen sink towards the end of the game.
Because that's the thing. Because obviously, before Matic and Pogba were the thing. Before after lockdown. Back in the last season, that was the pivot. It was right. I don't know why I'm calling Patic, but Pogba and Matic were the pivot, and then you had Greenwood, Rashford, Martial as the 3 above, and then Bruno in the 10, and that was the winning formula. That was the formula. Then obviously Spurs come into town. Jose Mourinho comes into town, gives us a 6-1. He's lost all faith in it. He will play Matic and Pogba against Sheffield United, but big games, he's fearful. Do you think that he should have stuck to McFred? We talk a lot about McFred, or do you think, as Rodney said, the different personnel on Liverpool meant that we could be a bit more expansive and go for Patic, as I'm going to call them now?
I call him Pogmatic, but yeah.
Pogmatic, I like that. Let's go with Pogmatic.
That sounds legit.
For me, I think McFred were always going to play. And if you look at their record this year, obviously we had the 6-1 where he went with Pogmatic and we got slapped. And that's really left a scar on the team and all his management. So he's always been a bit more fearful of the top 6 sides. So since then, we've played Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool. We've conceded 1 goal from a penalty in the 4 games. So that's his tried and tested way.
But
I know
we've
what
not
Rodney's
won
saying.
any though.
I
We've
know,
not
but
won any of those
it
games.
seems like his mentality is we'll just take a point, smash up the smaller teams, and that should be enough. So if you smash up the 13, 14 smaller teams and take your points on the road, at home, I think we should be more expansive. Anfield, I 100% get it. But then again, like I said, there was no fans, so there wasn't that element there. So I think he could have been more expansive, but he's going to trust McFred because more times than not, they've kept a clean sheet in the big games this year. And you can see his aim was just not to lose and take a point and keep the momentum going. My issue with McFred is, like I said, we're not scoring enough when they're playing. I think with time that will come, maybe with a January signing or a signing in the summer window. That's the next piece in the jigsaw, having someone like they had Thiago pulling the strings for them in the first 30. If we get that player of that caliber, we can then play a more expansive version of football. But McFred did their job, I suppose, because they've kept a clean sheet. That's what they're in the team for. It is frustrating because the game was, like I said, there for the taking when you look back at it.
Because looking at our record, obviously, I think against the top 6 this season, was it 3 points in the games we played against them? Whereas
it's pathetic.
It's not good enough. It's not good enough, especially as I was reading today. The minimum in the last 10 seasons that you need against the big 6 to be champions is 16 points. The absolute minimum.
I think this season is an anomaly though, because I think the points tally to win the Prem this season is going to be pretty low. Like the bar is pretty low, but I think our poor start has impacted the way Ollie is approaching these games, because the thing is, a lot of these games we've played against the top 6 are at home. I think Liverpool and Arsenal, I'm tempted to say, were the only ones.
Oh no, we played Arsenal.
No, it's just Liverpool.
Yeah, it's Liverpool away.
Yeah, so we've got to go away to all of these teams this side of the year, and there's a potential possibility that they're going to have fans as well. So picking up points in those games is going to be tricky, and it might count against us towards the end of the year. But I think just because of the way we started the season, he needed to sort of close up ranks and just shore up our defense and try and get as many bodies in and around the centre backs as possible. But yeah, it's tough, man. We're not losing these games. We're not winning them either. We're top of the table.
I'm not.
We can't keep getting away with drawing games.
Yeah.
You got to beat your rivals.
Listen, bro. I can't have this. This is shambolic, guys. Let's look. If we actually look at we haven't won any games, and we've drawn 3. Look at the games look at when we met Chelsea. They were in a bad moment.
Yeah,
we should have played the team in front of us. We didn't. We showed them too much respect.
We were happy to get that draw. Ollie was smiling and shaking Frank's hand. Right. They were both high-fiving each other at the end of the game.
Right. It's ridiculous because Chelsea were in a bad bit of form. We should have went there. Same when we played City. City weren't in the best of form. I thought that was the opportunity for us to get at City, and we didn't. The problem I have with McFred is that whilst they potentially give you clean sheets, because last season they gave us no clean sheets.
Yeah, but this year they're giving you clean sheets.
Yeah, but whilst they're potentially giving you 3 clean sheets and stuff, it's just a season where we're not scoring though. So we're getting clean sheets, but there's no goals. So what they're giving, they're taking away. I feel like we still have enough defensively if we play Matic and Pogba, where they give us more attacking side. So what you lose defensively with McFred, you still have a bit defensively with Pogba and Matic, but you have way more going forward. I just don't see how going into big games with McFred is a positive this season. Like, if we need to play teams that are in front of us, we played the big teams when we've had great opportunities to beat them, and we haven't taken them. The Chelsea and City one, especially, that was really poor. And you can't, like, one game where you've lost against Jose Mourinho, where you went down to 10 men, that shouldn't really change your thinking. You should be able to set your team up with those 2 in the middle and be able to say, okay, we lose a bit defensively, so what we're going to do is we're going to tuck Shaw in, or we're going to tuck Aaron Wan-Bissaka in, or we'll put Bailly here, and we'll give certain instructions so that what we lose defensively with McFred, we still gain elsewhere on the pitch with Matic and Pogba. I don't like this thing where we need to be shut up shop. No, we don't. Ollie needs to be that guy that says in big games, all right, cool, we're going to go with Matic and Pogba because they offer so much more than McFred going forward, but this is what we're going to do to negate what they don't offer defensively. and bring certain tactics into the game, so we can actually go to these big teams and win. Because we played.
Do you think like Ollie has it in his head, yeah, that like because we're United fans, yeah, obviously we're top of the table, we're bare giddy, yeah. Do you think Ollie's just trying to secure us like Champions League, and he's not really going for that? I mean, just trying to steady the ship for this season. Because I hear what you're saying, yeah, and like as United fans, everyone wants us to do that, but there is the slight possibility that we might just get packed in all of those games, and
But that's football, bro.
yeah,
That's football. That's football.
But I think it's progression, like in the sense, always looking at the progression that, like I said, next year when we go out and hopefully buy a DM, he's going to play a more expensive brand of football. This year it's going to be McFred. That's just the way it is.
Yeah,
and also, I'll tell you what, Rodney, like he's banking on. So he drew with Chelsea. All right, we should have beaten him. I agree. They were there to take him. We should have taken him. But Chelsea been so whacked. They dropped points after that. So they sorted themselves out. We lost to Arsenal. Arsenal didn't win a game for 2 months after that. They sorted themselves out. We drew to Man City. Should have won that again. Man City dropped points since. I think Ole is actually banking on that we're good enough to beat the other 13 teams in the league or 14 teams, taking points off them, making sure we put them away, home and away, get the points on the board and pick up 1 point here and there or pick up a win. For this season, that's his aim. I think next season, when he doesn't trust Pogba, that's a fact. He's not going to play Pogba in a pivot against a big team again. He's
not done that. Yeah, if you play,
we can talk about
play him in a wing or because he's not going to shift Bruno. So he's like, I'm not going to play him in a pivot. I'm not going to shift Bruno. So he has to play on either wing or So he's playing him like
right wing, left wing. So it's never going to happen. He doesn't trust Pogba. He's not going to play Pogba in a pivot in a big game. You can take that in writing. So I think for this year he's going to settle on McFred, and then in the summer, depending on our recruitment, is the next phase of this team's evolution. And I think you'll see next year, at least I hope, a more expansive United team in the big games, away from home and at home in next season. You'll see that next season. But this year, he doesn't trust that pivot, Pogba, Matic in big games. It's obvious.
Yeah,
but that's down to like, oh gosh, man. I'm just when I go into games with McFred, I struggle to see what they actually bring. Like clean sheets, bro. We've that is.
They're doing one person's job, man. As I said when we lost to City,
come on, man.
When we lost to City, I said I'd rather have one Fernandinho than McFred. I'd rather play with 10 men and Fernandinho than 11 with McFred because they're literally doing one man's job. The two of them, they come like Siamese twins. They come together. It's ridiculous. He can't play. Why can't he? He can't do Mctomminay and Pogba. It has to be McFred. They come as a package. It's ridiculous.
There's so many different permutations you could do that give you a bit more than McFred. Like you could even go Matic and Fred, which we went with last season, and we won a few big games with them as well. So I don't know, man. McFred they don't offer enough for me to say other than keep that clean sheets.
They can't deal with pressure. They can't deal with the first phase. The centre backs have the ball. These guys are missing. They're hiding. They're not showing. So they hit it long. Rashford, which was offside 5 times, and obviously he wasn't all the time from the centre backs, but he was offside 5 times because he's trying to run in behind, just a long ball up top. Where is the build-up play? Where is the build-up play? And talking of Rashford, he started up top yesterday. What did you guys think about that? Obviously, you and Martial swap positions. Open to the floor.
Boy. Sometimes I want to criticize Rashford, but he's feeding the streets and he's feeding United. I can't really be too mad at him, but there are just times where I just need more assurance on the ball from him. And there were a couple of times yesterday where I saw the ball come into him and it was just like loose touch, or he wasn't quite putting it under his control. And I just I can't be too mad at him, but I would have liked to see more from him yesterday. Martial was the better of the two yesterday. It seems we can't get both of them performing well in one game, which is a bit annoying. But I mean, he didn't really show up, to be honest, but neither did a lot of our players. Bruno was worse. So
Yeah, that's true. Bruno had the absolute stinker. I think a lot of what I've seen on the TL, obviously people trying to talk about his record against the top six, Bruno specifically. And I think obviously with Bruno, obviously we know that he loves chaos. We know that he's a risk taker, but there was too many times he took a risk when we needed to keep the ball. Yesterday.
There was one time, where the ball came into him, and he just booted it on the volley, like you know when like the year 11 are trying to kick your ball out of the school, and it was like, he didn't look anywhere for the man, and I just thought this is bonkers, like this is so bizarre. And I think obviously when we're playing McFred, you've got two people who are loose in possession, so you'd hope that in your most creative midfielder, you'd have someone who can keep it on the ground and release or relieve pressure in various moments in the game for us. And he just did not do that whatsoever yesterday. So I was really disappointed by him. I think he lost possession more times than he maintained, which is crazy.
Very loose yesterday. Very
brothers. On my mother's life, he was playing against us. I have never seen a player, a good player at United have such a bad game. 60% pass completion. That is shock. And some of the times he was getting the ball, it's like he didn't even want the ball. It was like he had to get rid of it in 2 seconds. He just, like Stevie said, there was one opportunity. No one was even close to him, and he booted the ball up in the air. Like I think he thought, I'm going to go for the left hand side. There must be someone over there, and the ball just went up in the air. There was other times where he tried. You know what's funny? We played our game, and then City played their game. We saw Bruno try an outside of the foot little cross. Oh, embarrassing! Then you go and watch Kevin De Bruyne pull it off. It's just.
That hurt. That hurt because Bruno tried the outside of the foot thing, and you see Kevin De Bruyne do it. It's just, it went on Stones' head, fam. I was like, unbelievable. This is the difference. This is the difference.
But yesterday, this is what I hope Bruno fans or irrational Bruno fans are going to take away from the game. When he doesn't score and he doesn't assist, you see how bad his overall game is. He's so like I argue with fans on Twitter all the time. Like what he takes away from the game, he doesn't need to take away to be able to give his assists and his goals. You can still be a creative midfielder and be so much better on the ball. You can still be a risk taker and not give away silly possession as he does. I've never seen a creative player who's considered to be so good. People like Ozil, David Silva, and that they don't give the ball away like that. Okay, if you're taking risks where you're trying a dangerous pass, that's fine. Like United have been starving that. No one's gonna say, "Oh, Bruno shouldn't be doing that." But simple passes, simple options. He's going for the harder option. That's not even on. It's ridiculous. You can't take so much away from us in big games like that. So even if he scored that, no one will be talking about how bad Bruno was. And I feel like hopefully fans will now see that he has to improve on how he takes care of the ball, because how we're going to be able to challenge for titles when we're going into big games and we have a player who's given the ball away 18 times. Like, you can't do that.
No, that's facts. Bruno was very loose with the ball. He wasn't having a good game. Aka, he stayed on to like the 88th, 89th minute when Mason Greenwood came on. Would you have taken him off earlier? And who for?
I would have taken him off earlier. I thought Martial could feel harsh done by coming off first. When I think Stevie said, for me, Martial was one of the better attackers yesterday. He was actually doing some completing dribbles, holding the ball, trying to look for a teammate. Rashford and Bruno were, for me, very, very poor yesterday. And when you play a team of Liverpool's caliber, if you want to play that ball over the top or the ball in behind, your pass, touch, and finish has to be on point. Especially with you got Alisson in there. He's so good off his line, Alisson, that even if you beat the offside trap, Alisson's going to be there. So everything has to be on point. And we tried it about 8, 9, 10 times, and not once was anything on point. The passes were overhit, the touches were sloppy when they got through, and we didn't even get close to any good finishes. So for me, I would have taken Bruno off about 15 minutes earlier and given Mason a little run out. Because Mason does have composure. He does have that, that bit in the final third where let's just say Pogba's chance or Bruno's chance fall into Mason, I'm putting my house on Mason to score that goal. I think Bruno was so poor.
Even in his current form.
Yeah, well, I think he's more likely to score than Bruno and Pogba were because they were that bad yesterday. Bruno and Rash, sorry. And I just think Bruno had such a bad 75 minutes, and he's looked tired the last couple of games. Against Burnley, he was a bit anonymous for me as well. He looks tired, looks jaded. You've had your 70 minutes, brother. Come off the pitch now. You've had your go. I don't know why he was complaining about I need one more misplaced pass or 1 more minute. He should have been off long before that. So I think he should have come off.
I think you were saying that whoever was down injured is on one leg.
I thought he was saying 1 more misplaced pass.
Give me another chance.
one more time.
One more.
You know what was funny around that moment? Like Genie was moaning at him to come off.
Yeah,
Genie went off.
Genie went off. Wow, you know what? I'm so childish because I found that I was laughing.
I found it hilarious as well.
Genie was like, come off, and then like his number got called. He was so embarrassed walking off the pitch. If you could see his face, oh my god, that was so... And he didn't run off either.
He walked off. He's a muppet, fam. He knew he'd been caught out.
Shout out Shaw yesterday though. That might be the best game I've ever seen him play for us.
Oh yeah.
Lucas Shaw, yeah.
Like, he padlocked Salah and he still got forward. Like, and he was probably our biggest attacking threat yesterday. So
He played
amazing. He played amazing. I'll say one thing about Shaw. Like after about an hour, I just knew Salah was not going to beat him. I knew it's a wrap. I think one time Salah was in, and it was on a counter, and Shaw just matched him, yard for yard, through the pace. And at that point, I thought Salah is not going to beat him if we play 2 games today. That's how good Shaw was. Anytime the ball went to Salah, I was like, that's it. Shaw's got it on lock. We're not getting beat on that side. No one, that's it. We're safe. Even Wan-Bissaka had a good game for me, I thought. Wan-Bissaka and Shaw should have had assists. It should have been 2-0, and they both should have had assists. And that would have been ironic because everyone goes on about Trent and Robertson. But our fullbacks yesterday played much better than their fullbacks.
That's it. Aka, you speaking facts. That is 100% facts. The Mane, Salah, Firmino, quiet.
They switched sides as well. They switched sides to try and get change out of Shaw, and there was no change. There was
nothing.
Nobody.
Even their fullbacks, like every time Trent got the ball, he was just shitting himself. He was doing what Bruno was doing, kicking the ball away or just putting it out of play. Like he was on edge yesterday, Trent. Robertson was a bit better, but I thought our fullbacks, even Wan-Bissaka, you see his dribbling. He was a lot braver yesterday. He was pushing on with the ball. He should do that more often. He should back himself. And he should have got an assist for the Pogba goal.
No, he definitely should have got an assist. He definitely should have got an assist.
Yeah, definitely, man.
It's a testament to the centre-backs, or the defence, I should say, playing well. And
really good.
Really good. Obviously, there was a lot of talk before the match, myself included, about should Bailly have started. But Lindelof came in and he looked assured. We kind of limited them to long-range shots. They had 17 shots, but only 3 were on target. Where we had 8 shots and 4 of ours were on target. So so it really showed we were more threatening on their goal, and I guess we definitely had the 2 best chances. So it's disappointing, and it's good to feel that we are disappointed because last year we won in the game, man. Last year we just went to Anfield. We just hoped we wouldn't get smacked up too much.
We got brushed, bro. We got brushed last year.
So
got brushed last. Shout out Lindelof though, because obviously every fan was like, "Where's
TL went mad."
And I think we kind of forget that actually Lindelof's been in good form this season. He's not been bad. So I think that was just him this season. That was another good performance for him, another solid performance from him, another solid performance from Maguire. Even I think David De Gea didn't really have much to do, and when he did well. It was like 2 parts to our game, like the defense and then the attack. Like it's the attack at some point and the defense that isn't. Yesterday it was reversed. It's like everything we're doing, like we can't bring it together from the manager to players' games to attack and defense. It's like it's either one or the other.
It's the transitions aren't good, and I blame our DMs for the lack of transition. That's what it's like. It's just a lack of transition. But a game where the transitions may not be so important is Wednesday night. We've got Fulham, who are sort of fighting relegation, who got a good point, at Tottenham. Was it last week? They got a good point at Tottenham.
Yeah.
But what we feeling for that? Should we change the team? Should we? What kind of scores you looking for, Stevie? What are you feeling about the Fulham game?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, second week of the season, I said this Fulham team are dreadful. They are going down. But you know what? Shout out Scott Parker. Yeah, he has brought the team back from the dead. He's dropped a couple players. They got in a few new defenders as well, and they look much more resolute. They look much more of a unit, of a team, and they're not an easy team to beat. Yeah, they got the point against Spurs. I think it was 8 straight draws for them before they lost to Chelsea. Chelsea game, to be honest, when I was watching it, they were still in the game the whole way through, and they had 10 men for a large portion of it. So it's not a gimme by any stretch of the imagination. I would really like to see Ole drop Fernandes. More so to give him a rest rather than to punish him for his poor performance. But yeah, to Akib's point, we saw towards the back end of last season that when this guy just plays games on games on games, he starts dropping stinkers without the output. So I think it could be a chance to get in Van de Beek there, or maybe even an opportunity to play Pogba in the middle. And against a team like Fulham, that's probably one of the games where him and Matic could be dominating the midfield without too much fear of losing the game. So yeah, it's one where we need to go and win the game after this draw against Liverpool. I think we've got enough to do it, but we just shouldn't be complacent about it. And we need to rotate our players as well.
We definitely need to start using our squad. There was only 2 substitutions made in the game yesterday. Cavani came on and Greenwood came on. Players like Van der Beek, as you mentioned, stayed on the bench. Rodney, who would you want to see in Wednesday's game? How should we rotate the squad, if any? What how would you line up and what players would you bring in?
See, the Fulham game, if it was the Fulham before the new year, I would say play whoever and we're getting 3 points. But at the moment, like Stevie said, they look a resolute side, man. They're not really conceding many, and they've got Chelsea. They played Chelsea and Spurs in those games, and they look good defensively. Yes, we're better than both going forward, so I expect us to be able to break down Fulham a lot easier than those teams. But in changes wise, I would definitely give Bruno a rest and play Van der Beek in the number 10 role, get Matic in the game, give Tellez a game, get Bailly in, because I think Lookman's going to be an issue. So I would go with Bailly because I think Lindelof struggles against that profile of player. So I would get Bailly in the game. I would probably give a rest to Shaw, definitely. So yeah, my back four would probably be, I'll go Bailly. Maguire's always going to start. Aaron Wan-Bissaka doesn't really have much cover, so he's going to have to start. And then we go Tellez, and then I'll probably go Matic. And you can pick whoever he goes alongside, maybe Pogba, because Pogba didn't look comfortable on the right. And I would like to keep Martial on the left after that good performance. Whether his fake injury or not is going to play an impact on whether he starts or not. I'll get Greenwood in there as well, and then go Van der Beek, and then up top I'd probably give Cavani and just rush Rash, man, because I think Rash also, as well as Bruno, has played a lot of minutes, and we can't really afford for their dips to be too bad. So I'll definitely give them a rest because games are coming thick and fast. We've got quite a good run in at the moment. I don't think we play anyone big until we meet Arsenal in.
They're not big.
Hey.
You say that, but
we've got 3 games against bottom half sides coming up.
Yeah,
Fulham, Sheffield United, and Arsenal.
Let them have it, man. Let them have it.
my issue is, like, if you listed 10 games, Arsenal would always be an L for me because I never feel confident going into that game. Recently, the last 2 seasons, I've never gone into an Arsenal game thinking we're gonna smack these man. No, as much as I spin on the up block saying, yeah, you man, I never actually go in thinking, yeah, we're gonna beat these lot. Yeah. It's been a while since I've gone to an Arsenal game and thought, yeah, Arsenal are gonna win this one.
No, we've not done too well against them recently. That's what it is.
Yeah, we haven't.
Big game though. It's a big game coming up because I think we should be beating them this time around. And it's going to say a lot about us because, like I said, we've been going up playing for 0-0s and not really going for the win. But against Arsenal, no excuses. We should be putting them away. We should have put them away in October.
So wait. Let me ask you. Versus Arsenal, what are you man saying for the pivot? Let me hear this one then.
It's going to be McFred again, man. It's not what I want. No.
What you want to see?
I want to see Pogba and Matic.
Cool. What about you, Stevie? Let me hear this one.
Yeah, no. We can't play McFred against us. Arsenal actually, their bottom half side. Like, if you look at their personnel, I'm not even gassing the team. There are 10 sides better than them, so we can't be playing McFred in that game, man.
He will though.
I haven't got enough of a threat to do so.
It's a disgrace. You can't play McFred against them too. Like, obviously they may have what's his face Party's coming back into fitness, but even still
starting today, isn't it?
Oh, so he's back to fitness then. Then you want to have we've got to put Pogba and Matic in there. I don't know. I personally think Bruno, play him against sides in the bottom half and top six rest him from. Like let's get the output. Let's get the output in the games where it doesn't really matter if you have a stinker. But against the top six sides, we need to drop this guy. I watched yesterday's game and he's our talisman. I love the guy, but he can't do he doesn't have the discipline. And I don't think you can coach it out of him. I don't think if Ollie sits him down and says, fam, on a real, like just make better decisions, just take it easy, just take a touch and think. I don't think he can do that. I think his game is chaos. So I think against the top six sides, Bruno on the bench, fam.
You starting verse Fulham then?
Yeah, no, I'll give him a rest this time. He actually needs to rest on a real. Like, I think play Matic in the 6 and have Pogba and Van der Beek in the 8 positions. Give Rashford a rest because Rashford and Bruno have been our best output players. Pogba's stepped up recently, but it's been mainly Rashford and Bruno. And if it's not come through them, we're not really winning the game. So give them to a rest. They kind of need it. You can tell on their games that they're just dipping in their form. And give Cavani a run out. Let Martial play on the left. Let Greenwood let him come on the right. Van der Beek and Pogba in the middle. They're technically good players. You've got Matic sweeping up behind them. So that's how I'll start.
With Ole, I can't remember what game it was. It might have been in the Champions League. I can't remember where we rested Bruno and Rashford, and then they had to come on at half time to say to salvage the game for us. Yeah, so I just think Ole's just going to start with our strongest team possible and hope that we kill off games early and then try and give them minutes that way. Realistically, I can't see us being top. I can't see him risking the possibility of like a banana skin. Like, I can just see starting Bruno.
Scary. Are we really saying we can't go to Fulham and win without Bruno Fernandes starting? That is scary. We're top of the league. We're top of the league.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's scary. He's got listen. He's got to sit down for Fulham, man. Me.
Wow.
If I'm the manager, you sit down for that game there. Or for me, Ollie's got to tell him, yo, listen, sit down for this game because the last game, let me show you a tape of what you did. this right here, like,
you know, Bruno would watch the highlights and blame someone else.
The guys. I'm telling you, he's a selfish. If he scores an assist in a game, then you man lost. I won, innit? That's the type of player he is. As long as he does his thing, he doesn't care about what other men are doing. I can just tell that's his game there. He needs to sit down for a game, man, because against Liverpool, that was so bad, man. I don't want to see his face. I don't want to see his face.
Yeah, no, he stank. He stank and nothing else.
Yeah,
so.
I don't want to see his face.
Top 6 needs to start resting this guy. That may be the thing. Top 6, rest Bruno. That may be the thing. Rest him, fam.
The thing is, is like his direct replacement is Van der Beek, who's the complete opposite of him. In the sense, if we had Van der Beek on the pitch yesterday, our transitions would be much better. He wouldn't lose the ball. Van der Beek doesn't lose the ball. And it's just like, I just think that heightens it even more because Bruno is as sloppy as he is. Van der Beek is that good on the ball. I don't know how you guys feel.
He's good. He holds the ball.
He's good.
He's got the football brain. The Dutch, and they're playing triangles, not just hoof ball.
He's a big game player as well.
I don't think Dutch players
are big game player as well. He's got big goals in big games for Ajax in Europe and also. So he should get a chance. I agree with you, man. I think he should get the chance in the top 6 game. I think Van der Beek could be a way forward.
Yeah,
He's playing against Tottenham in Champions League semi-finals and that. Come on, and scoring.
yeah.
Come
I think
on,
he's
man.
like. I think he doesn't just. I think for the signing, I get for depth wise, but it's gonna sound weird saying this. I think he's actually too good for the side that we are right now. I think technically and the way he sees the game, the way he plays the game, it's not suited to his game. He's I don't know if too good's the right word, but his
How
game
must
just
he
isn't
feel?
suited
I
to
don't
his game.
think. I don't think we're like how advanced our football philosophy is suits how he plays, because I think he's
Yeah,
expecting triangles and movements from players that
yeah, exactly,
just
exactly,
not at their level right now.
I just don't
exactly.
know how he can sit in the stands and watch the shit show of McFred can't pass the ball 5 yards or getting fumbling under pressure, knowing what he can do. He must be in absolute bits. Like he
Yeah,
must go
yeah,
home and
definitely.
tell his partner, "What the fuck is this?
This
You
is
see that mess that these players are doing, and I can't get a game. I
to
can't
me
even get
Yeah,
minutes."
that's a
he's on.
criminal planning for me. Like again,
Yeah,
like it just stinks to me of like poor planning, and it's like we bought him on availability and budget, but really we should have just broken the bank, and we definitely could have afforded Grealish for that price if we were looking at Sancho. We should have just gone for a Grealish and just put out the cash for him, and we'd be in a far better situation.
yeah, I agree,
Greenish
man.
was
'Cause
well. He would have had to bench Bruno unless you play Greenish off the left.
I think he's come through as a Pogba replacement, Van der Beek. I think
Yeah,
he's been told that as well. So I
that's
think
what,
when Pogba looks like he's going to be off in the summer, Van der Beek's going to fill that void and
but
get multiple game time.
he's such a different player to Pogba. I
I mean,
don't,
it's interesting to see what business we do in the summer and what kind of football we play come this time next year. Because I do think there'll be a massive transition over the summer in our style of play and how we approach games. But I do think
Bob,
he was brought in
that's
to
mad,
replace.
man. We can't have another transition, man. This is his third season. He's supposed to be nearing the finished article at the moment, man.
Yeah, it'll be
I don't
interesting to
know.
see who we're getting.
Yeah, see for Van der Beek, when I watch him play, I just feel like it's just I judge him on the fact that he's in this United team. He doesn't look dangerous enough, but then I have to remember he's not used to needing to be so individual in your play. Do you get it? He's used to playing triangles and getting into
System.
spaces and getting a shot. Yeah, he's used to a system. He's not used to the individuality that you need to play on our side. He doesn't have that 1v1 that Rashford and, well, not so much Martial this season, but Rashford and Martial have, and sometimes Greenwood. He doesn't really have that ability to make something from nothing. And I feel like that's what we need in our team. Players who are individual and players who are good 1v1. That's what we need to get in our team. And because he's not that,
You want Maverick? You want a team for the Mavericks?
exactly.
Yeah.
And because, go on.
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't know where he fits in if Pogba goes, because to me, if Pogba goes and we get the defensive midfielder to replace McFred that everyone desperately knows we need, then we need 2 eights who are like really comfortable running up and down the pitch, like got bags of energy, and maybe Bruno.
Do that though.
Pardon?
I think that's what it is. I think we're going to get a DM in. McFred's going to get binned, and it's going to be him and Bruno in 8, 10, whatever you want to call it, and that's what's going to be going forward next year.
You think
I'm not so sure.
Sorry, what's that?
I don't think he's got enough legs for that.
I think he could do it. He's that good a player. He's that gifted. I think he can play in 8, 10, or 6. He's that good. But obviously, his preference is 10 and further up the pitch. But
Yeah,
I do get the feeling that I think it's going to be that, Steve. I think it's going to be we're going to get a DM. McFred are going to get benched. The DM's going to be good enough just to sit, and then you're going to have Bruno and Van der Beek running up and down on either side of him.
I reckon he's just here if Bruno gets injured, to be honest.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not even certain that Pogba's going to go.
Yeah,
I was,
Really?
but I'm not at the moment, man. I was
Do
reading.
you think that depends on the league, or do you think that's just like
No,
on him?
I just feel like there's not enough out there for him at the moment. And if he wants to go to Juve, we're gonna need a transfer fee. And Juve at the moment, what are they gonna bring to the table? We don't want none of their players. What are they gonna bring to the table? How much are they gonna give us?
They're struggling.
Yeah,
As bad as we are.
We'll demand at least 60, and plus his wage package, plus them still paying for Ronaldo, I think he's going to be techie.
Jeez, they are in a mess, fam. Jeez, the Milan clubs are back on top, yeah?
What I'm saying is,
Is
as
it
bad as we are,
05?
but Madrid and Juve are in worse positions than us this year. So
I don't
Pogba might
think
look
that-
at it and he
yeah.
might think, "I'll take 300k a week here." There's clear signs of progression at United. You can say what you want. We are progressing in the right direction for me. All right, it might be at snail's pace, but we are going in the right direction. And he might just feel like, I do think he has got a feeling for the club, Pogba. He's an academy lad. He's come back. I do think he does like it at Manchester. He's a popular guy in the dressing room. All he gives him, get out of jail free card. You know, he gives him better management than other managers. So, I mean, it's not beyond the realms of, you know, he could stay. I think Pogba could stay, but it's interesting. Van der
League
Beek
title, man. League title, he stays.
Yeah, we need trophies.
I think the only team who could possibly pose a threat to him leaving at the moment is probably PSG with Poch. I think they kind of need a player like him. So I feel like if
Give a
PSG
variety in the middle, yeah?
whoever, because they've got bums in the midfield at the moment, PSG.
Yeah,
So
bar variety.
I feel like that would probably be his best bet, and he'll get league titles over there as he did when he was at Juve. Like it's certain that they win the league every year and they win whatever cups, and then in the Champions League they do better than us. So I feel like, and PSG have the money all the time.
Well,
so.
I hope they sign Dele Alli then, innit? I hope they get Dele Alli
Yeah.
to
But I think
confuse them, innit? Make
it's
them
50-50. It's 50-50 for me now, that because a lot of the talk I'm seeing now is it used to be when Pogba goes, like in December, November, it was when Pogba goes, and now it's like I'm seeing reliable journalists say if Pogba goes. So I feel like it's 50-50.
Obviously, he's playing better. Obviously, it's almost like the talk of him leaving sort of took some stress off his back, and he's playing with a bit more freedom, and it looks like he's enjoying his ball again. He definitely looks like he's enjoying it, and I think he wins the league title with us. I think he stays. But just talk about another player who we're talking about different positions. Another man who played a lot of positions for us up front, number 10 in his later career, dropped into midfielders. A certain Wayne Rooney who called an end to his career. And he took the reins full time with Derby County. We had an episode, you can check it on Spotify and YouTube, where we did a full Rooney appreciation with a one and certain rants and bants you can check out. But right now, we just wanted to show some love to Wayne Rooney. I'm going to ask you all individually just to give your sort of best sort of Wayne Rooney moment in the United shirt. Start with you, Rodney.
I've got a few, man. I'm gonna give a few special mentions, but the City volley, the Newcastle volleys. But my favourite has to be, because obviously you lot know me, so when I say this, you'll say, it makes sense. The drop ball where he just gone in 2 flying tackles. For me, that has to be my favourite Rooney moment ever. Because, bro, I don't know why the ball Rooney was.
Yeah, he was a menace, fam. He was an absolute menace.
Man. When I watched it at the time, I loved it, and I watch it. But even now, I watch it back. Like, what was this guy actually on? Like, that for me is one of my favorite moments. That I can talk about the Newcastle volleys. I can talk about the volley versus City. I can talk about the balls that he played over to RVP. I can talk about his halfway line finishes. But that moment there.
He's a mad, that's
Rooney,
you know he's a mad you, innit? That's your like
whenever
this guy's
I think
mad.
of him, that is what comes to mind. Oh, that drop ball situation. That's the first thing I think. So that's just me anyway. And I think for me and the personality that I have, it makes sense why I would say, that for me is my favourite moment. Most wouldn't say it, but I'll go with that.
No, I know. I think it just showed that he's not sent like upstairs. He's probably not all there correct. Innit? Like he's not all. It's not everything is wide tight in it. Like he's not all correct. And I think you need that. I think to be the type of player Wayne Rooney was, you need to not be stable upstairs. You need a bit of imbalance. What about you, Aka? What's your sort of standout moment?
He's got so many, like Rodney mentioned. The one I enjoyed was the penalty at Ewood Park to get the 19 title. Stay with you like forever. Like that's the day we overtook Liverpool, and I'll wait for that day for years and years. And he had a bit of a tough season that year because I think he wanted to leave early on in the season. But came through second half of the season, fair play to him. And the thing with Rooney was, no matter what was going on off the pitch, he always brought his A game on. Like Rodney said that when he went for that 50-50 drop ball, he always brought that passion and that pride for the shirt. And he hated Liverpool, and I hate Liverpool as well. So that was
he
the one
really meant he really. That's the thing. I remember, was it 05-06? We were wearing the black shirt from
Kissing the
the
badge.
front, and he scored a screamer from outside the box, and it's just like that. He's a proper Man United player. What about you, Stevie? What about you? What's your favorite Wayne Rooney moment?
Yeah, I have a few still. Obviously, you got the volley versus City, but yeah, I think his debut, Fenerbahce. I remember I was away on a school trip and I just watched this guy, and I just thought, right, this guy. Because before we bought him, I was like, who is this English guy that we're buying from Everton? Like, is he?
He had a crazy Euros. Remember, he had a mad Euros.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was levels. And then when I saw him in that game, I was like, right, okay, Fergie knows what he's doing. But I think for me, when Ronaldo left, and I thought, who's gonna carry this team? And he just had one of the most outstanding seasons. And I think it was against AC Milan where he bagged, it might have been 2 headers. And
3-2.
I just thought, right, this guy literally brought us out from the dumps. We don't really have a star man in Ronaldo as we did, but this guy's literally carrying our team. And he did the same even when we got packed by Barca again when he scored the equaliser before half time. I was mad that day, and me foolishly thinking we were back in the game. Obviously we weren't, but it just showed
that team was that
was
crazy,
probably
man.
the most depressing 90 minutes of football I've watched as a United fan. Because you know when you're a United fan, you get gassed. You think, we can match them. And that was literally the only probably about 10 seconds of fun I had in that game.
You got to hold your hands up until you're playing greatness, innit? You just got to say,
facts.
You're playing this team which is on a stratospheric level. You got Leo Messi in his prime. You got man like David Villa who's curling from anywhere. You've got Pep anyway. That team was
man. Rooney, big moments. The guy always turned up. For us, man. Big game player.
Proper Man United player, always giving everything. He will give it to the ref, he'll give it to the opposing fans. Top player. You don't get Wayne Rooney's often, and that was £27 million well spent back in 2004. So happy retirement, Wayne Rooney, man. And we hope to see another one like you. Obviously, you got your son at the academy, Kai Rooney, signed a contract. So let's see.
His son's gonna be a dead baller, man. That never it never works, man. It never works ever. That's like 3 of his kids in the Real Madrid C team, fam.
I don't know any
Maldini
footballers.
Maldini.
Maldini obviously, but they brought their son through. Like you always hear about this guy's son and son for this. They're rubbish, bro. Let's be honest. They're all rubbish. Rubbish.
The only one I believe in, might be Ronaldo Jr. because he's been packing them in, and his dad doesn't let him eat or play like every day. he might actually become a fish.
You know, it's been decent. Kasper Schmeichel. He's made a good career for himself.
Yeah, but goalkeeper, like you get less credit for that.
He's good though. He's good though.
He's trying to give no credit.
Come on, man. He's been good though. He's won a Premier League.
But really,
if
I'm a keeper and I train a keeper for 20 years, it's easier to get into like the
There's an element with him. They thought he's just Schmeichel's son, so we're gonna pick him, and he's a goalkeeper. But he's actually a good goalkeeper. Like he made a great save against us this year. He's got a great catalogue of saves. He's been at Leicester. He's made an X amount of appearances for them, and he's won the league. So he's done really well to say he's a son of a legendary footballer.
Let me be real, bro. When we used to play like Wembley or 21, I used to go and goal, and I used to be good. So I can't really rate any keepers. Bro. I can't rate any keepers, bro.
You man are disgusting. Professional keeper just gonna used to be good in goal.
Really keeping to Wembley doubles, you know.
You man are disgusting.
I used to go and pull off the maddest saves.
Whatever. You man are awful.
Goalkeeping is 60% enthusiasm though, and 40% hype.
Oh my god! Stop it, man! Stop it.
For me, I can't really rate the keeper thing. I was never in the playground thinking, I want to be a keeper. So I don't know anybody that was running on the pitch saying names like Van der Sar. Nobody wanted to be a goalkeeper. Nobody wanted to go and goal. Like there must be a shortage in goalkeepers. Seriously, coming through in academies and stuff. Because let's be honest, nobody is going to train their son to be a goalkeeper.
But that might be the move, though.
It's more popular now, though. It's more popular now. I think with characters like De Gea, Alisson, like I think people want to be like.
Yeah, but
you're right, man. Who am I kidding? You're right, man. No one wants to be a goalkeeper.
Like, I swear, Edison was a DM. Edison only became a keeper at like 15 or something.
It depends on your height, though. You're right. It depends on your height. Like some kids have like this growth spurt, and then they're like 6'6", gangly as fuck, and then they think, "I'll be a keeper."
I'll be like, I'll go play b-ball. But yeah, that's true. It's this weird one where you're probably like 6'3", so you'll be short in b-ball, but you're a good height for a keeper. You're like, keeper, cool. Let me just stick to football, innit?
Yeah.
Definitely. I think people now, like fathers and that, want to just get their sons that contract, so they think like they see their son's first touch of. Yeah, I think they see their son's first touch and think, nah, this guy's not making it. Let me go goalkeeper. I need the millions anyhow. Yeah, just earning goal, bro. Yeah.
Any position, fam.
Project Michael.
Yeah,
Project Michael.
Van der Sar, Michael. Yeah, Project whatever,
Project
bro.
Michael,
Get me them millions. Get me them millions. Nah, I'm joking. If there's anyone out there watching, and obviously their son's a goalkeeper or their goalkeeper, I'm joking.
Subscribe.
They're
gonna be at you. Make sure they're at you personally, fam. These are the opinion of Rodney only, fam.
Yeah. Obviously, my at is my middle name at Stevie and an idiot. So yeah, at me if you think I'm wrong in it.
Just to round up, we got some listeners' questions. I'm going to go into them now. The first one I'm going to ask is open to the floor. Thoughts on Greenwood lately? Form hasn't been great. Hasn't even touched pitch for too long either. Don't you think we should be seeing him consistently at number 9 so he can get the experience there? So open to the floor. What do people think?
He's 19. Man. He should be aloof and Malia, man. Like, give this guy a break. Like, he's gonna have.
Don't encourage him. The last time he was in Iceland.
He's just gonna have periods where he's not firing as much as he was, and obviously this season's gonna be harder as well because defenders know a bit more about you. They're a bit more used to your strengths, and I think defenders they're a bit more fearful of United as well. So we're not getting as many chances on the break or on the counter as I think we were last season. I think teams are affording us more respect. So yeah, he's gonna adjust. He's gonna build physically, and he's not a right winger. So I think we just got to have patience. We're also lucky in the fact that we're top of the league. So if we don't need to play him, we don't need to play him.
Yeah, I think what his first season has sort of deluded fans into expecting a 19-year-old to be able to build on that like that. I think you got to be happy with the progression you show in the first season. Then you got to understand that young players show a level of inconsistency that he's showing. He's got personal things going on in his life. He's had the media onto him. And this is just generally what happens to young players who burst onto the scene in their second season. I think looking at Greenwood and treating him like a full-fledged professional vet in the league, I think that's unfair. I think you've got to treat him for what he's a 19-year-old young player. A lot of weight on his shoulders at the moment. Just be easy, man. He'll come good. He isn't a right winger. Right now, there's no path for him as the number 9 because we're still going with Martial. Give him 2 or 3 seasons. He's still a young player. I don't even think we should be questioning. I don't think we should be questioning him right now, man. Honestly,
just take time. Take time. Is that the message?
Yeah, definitely. Take time, man. Just cool off, man. Because there's other players that you should really be speaking about. Yeah, and whoever asked that, the listener that asked that question, the level of respect I'm showing you. When really I wanted to say something else. So
we're trying to build a fan base here, not diminish it, Rodney. Rodney, it was up to Rodney who has -5 fans, fam. This guy is not.
That's what I'm saying. I showed him a level of respect answering the question just to show that I'm changing. So obviously.
We've got one which says, did we show too much respect to Liverpool at Anfield? I think Aka kind of touched on that. So we won't go into that. I've got a question here. Given we are practically halfway through the season, what's Ollie's scorecard out of 10? Starting with you, Stevie. Out of 10, what you giving Ollie so far? Number and why? And you guys be thinking 8. As well.
I'll give him an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8 because I think year on year we've improved by what? I think it's like 10 points, and really and truly the only real addition to the squad since then has been or the first 11 since then has been Bruno. So maybe I need to give the 8 to Bruno. But obviously we've had periods of inconsistency at the start, which some may say is down to our lack of preseason. So I can't give him a 10, but I think he's done well. Like, we're not calling for him to get sacked anymore. So yeah, man.
Wait, speak for yourself.
Okay, Rodney. Okay, you're coming in. You're coming in.
If he got sacked.
What? Say that again?
He's even available if he got sacked. Poch is gone now, so
yeah.
Rodney, what number are you giving him?
I'm gonna give him. He's top of the league. He's unbeaten away from home, but the coaching is shit, and there's other things that are shit. I'll give him a steady 6. I'll give him a steady 6.
That's harsh, man. That's harsh.
Nah, wait. Whilst
Bro, we're top of the league, man.
Whilst we're top.
Come on, man.
Agenda.
Come on,
Rodney.
Wait,
6.
listen. Whilst
we're undefeated 12.
Yeah, whilst we're top of the league and whilst we're undefeated, it is a peculiar season. So that it's like when it's like if I go and play football with 2-year-olds now. That's how it is at the moment because everyone's so bad. So whilst we are top of the league at the moment, I think we need to put that into a little bit of context. And the fact the football isn't great. It's just not like it's so easy for the project for the wheels to fall off because there's so much. It's just so much is just vibes. So I feel like
Rodney, start the season. What was your where did you think United would finish?
Start of the season, I thought 3rd, and I still think 3rd. I think City will win the league, and I think Poole will come in 2nd. I don't think we haven't got enough to sustain that. Right
now he's overachieving in your mind, but he's in the 6.
Who did we buy this summer again?
Well, that's what I said again.
Who did we buy this summer? It was just Tellez and
Van der Beek, Cavani.
Yeah, we bought depth. So
we bought squad players.
Yeah, he bought squad players. So the squad is really good. Like he can rotate his pivot and stuff. So, but I just feel like we're getting a little bit carried away. Whilst we're top of the league, like the season that most teams are having with COVID and stuff, I just feel like I can't really give him an 8, man. The football's not good enough to give him an 8 because I wouldn't even give. There's a very few managers I would give 9 or 10, even if they win the league. So I feel like giving him an 8 is just that's just caught in the moment.
You've changed me. I feel like that was reactionary. I'm going down to 7.
That's me, man.
Wow, Rodney is permeating people's brains. Wow.
No. Like guys, let's be like we are top of the league. We are top of the league, and we are beaten away from home. But there is so much still to work on, and it's so fragile at the moment. Like, picture this now: Bruno or Rashford gets injured. Where do you go from there? What do you see the team doing? Like, it's riding so much on thin ice at the moment, and I just feel like there's not enough for me to say, yeah, Ollie needs to get an 8 or even a 7. I feel like 6 is being really, really fair. I think because I think where we finish
really, really harsh.
No. I think it's fair. I think it's fair to be honest with you.
Aka, what are you saying? Because obviously, to be fair, we've not had any big injuries, fortunately. We had a full-strength team that went to Liverpool, knowing their defensive frailties, and we couldn't score. So what are you giving Ollie 18 games into the season? What's your score out of 10 for Ollie Hugo Solskjaer?
It's somewhere between 7 and 8. I think 8 is being too nice to him. 6 is 6. Calling 6 fair is ridiculous. I'm sorry. 6 is not fair. 6 is harsh.
Nah, 6 is fair.
Harsh, man.
7.5. I'd say 7.5 or 7. He has done well though. Like, it was a weird season because there was no pre-season, and we suffered in the first 6 games. And you could see the players were tired. Quick turnaround, no pre-season. 7 points from 6 games. All right. At that point, he was struggling. At that point, he was a dead man walking. The next 12 games, we've won 9 and drawn 3. We're top of the table. We're scoring more goals than the last few years. We're getting more wins in the last few years. Like, I hear what you're saying. It's fragile and it's heavily reliant on individuality and magic. But he's getting the tune out of these players, and his man management is great. So just for his man management alone, he has to get a 7 for me. Like, he's such a good man manager. It just goes under the radar because he's so clueless tactically in terms of coaching, but he's a great man manager. If you look at the way he's handled the Pogba thing, exemplary.
Big man thing. Listen, big man thing. I think we could grab Mario and put him as manager, and he'll have great man management as well, bro. I'm being serious.
He's everyone's friend, and it's just about being personable, isn't it? It's just about being personable. And I always find it weird when managers can't, like, how are you so cold that you can't just banter with 25 people? Just learn their names, learn their partners' names, be friendly, and you're personable. That's all you need to do. Magic.
The thing with Ole is, credit to him, he wants the best for the club. So you see, like, when a man like Pogba start moving a bit mad, he knows Pogba's an asset to the club. So he does the best for the club. He probably swallows his own pride and says to Pogba, turns a blind eye to it. Whereas a man like Mourinho would come, and they don't care about United. This is what I don't like about Mourinho lovers, because I was his biggest fan, but he doesn't care about United. And you can see that in his interviews at Spurs.
He cares about his brand, doesn't it?
About the Mourinho he didn't care. So he's like, no, I'm gonna beef Pogba. I don't care about United. I'll get my payout. Ole's not about the payout. He's not about beefing, man. He's about getting the best for United and United only. And that's what I like about him. And that affects his man management. And in return, you get really good man management because he's putting the club first and then the players.
Yeah, but this is what about the other side? Like, you've mentioned man management and you've mentioned he loves the club, but there's other sides to the
I've said, look, coaching wise, tactically, he's a bit naive. He's not the greatest, but he's not a 6 this year. He's top of the table, man. Come on.
He's overachieving, Rodney. You thought he would be third.
Tactically, he might be a 6.
Yeah, but listen, this is what I'm saying. A month ago, he was a dead man walking. Like, this is what I'm saying.
Like Lazarus.
Another great trait. He's got grit. He's been on the verge of a sack 3 times, and he's come through. He's got grit.
Hang on, because the manager is his form, like points wise, is patchy. Similar to some of the players who get criticised week on, week out on this pod. You've got to be able to. Like, we can't have purple patches where we win 10 games and then we lose 5 or 6. Because if I ask you, man, now to bet money on whether he's going to be able to continue this sort of form into the back end of the season, it's 50-50.
Is it though? Like, if you look at since February 1st, since Bruno's come, it's about 33 league games. We've only lost 3, Rodney, and we've got 4 or 5 more points than anyone else in the league. Yeah. So I hear what you're saying. It does feel like it's patchy, and it does feel like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But he has shown a great degree of consistency in the last 12 months in the league, and that's fact. And the table doesn't lie. We're top of the table.
Yeah, I'll concede he's had a good year points wise. Yeah, I didn't really factor that in actually. He's had a good year points wise, but nah, I can't just give him an 8 or.
I can't give him an 8, but I can't give him a 6 as well. I think 6 is harsh.
So the average is 7. Is it? Are we saying the MUGA average for Rodney's on the target?
Rodney's bringing it down to like a 6.5.
No, they Rodney. Rodney got agenda, fam.
Wait, what are you giving him then, Michael?
Nah, he has to have a 7. He has to have a 7.
Why though?
He's top of the league, man. He's overachieving.
You know what it is as well? If Ole was a goalkeeper, like let's say it was Schmeichel managing the team, I reckon he might have given a 2 or a 3 or something. I'm just glad he's a striker.
You know what's mad is that a month ago the man was saying get him out, and a month later,
on his neck.
Now. But how can a month later you saying 7 out of 10?
He's done the madness.
He's done 9 wins and 3 draws. He's not lost a game in 2 months, 3 months.
This man, he's a mad guy. It's pure vibes, no tactics. Go out and enjoy yourself, boys. That's his tactic. But somehow that has elevated us to the top of the league. I don't know. But I can't give a man that's top of the league when I thought at the start of the season we wouldn't even make top 4. Right. I can't give him more. I can't give him less than a 7. I can't. He's a 7 out of 10. You can't deny that. It doesn't make sense to me, the league table. It doesn't make sense. But I'm going to run it as long as it's going to stay. And it looks like City, if they win their game in hand, they go top. So we might as well just enjoy it while it's here.
So hear this one. When I'm gonna say when, because I think City are strong. When City win their game in hand and we're not top of the league, because I've heard everyone say top of the league. Mm-hmm. If we don't go top of the league and we do a pod, what are you then gonna say to me? Because you don't have the top of the league shouts.
Yeah, it's 1 point off though. It's 1 point off. And look at the transfer windows that they had. So they went out and bought a 65 million and he's a
Yeah,
world class
yeah,
defender.
yeah,
That guy's a world class defender, and we
Yeah,
got
fine,
three,
that's
four
fine.
squad players.
But what I'm saying is, some of you or all of you have said, yeah, we're top of the league. It's when City win their game in hand, or we lose a couple and we're not top of the league, then what is it? Are we saying that it's because we're in and around the top three?
We shouldn't
No,
even,
it's not even that. Rodney, it's not.
we shouldn't even be in this conversation. Generally, I thought we'll be like, obviously, City and Liverpool haven't run off with it. Obviously, have not been at their top. So I'm not naive.
Yeah.
Obviously, City, what's happened? City and Liverpool have stepped down a notch or two, and we've gone up a notch, and that's where we are. We're now in this area where we're in and around them. We're normally
Have we gone up? Have we gone up a notch though? Because I read somewhere.
We have Rodney though, because
I
Rodney.
read
All
somewhere
right,
that
Rodney.
we're on similar points last season though.
No, we're
Nah,
not. We're
I
12
think
up. We're 12 points up from last year.
I think. Is it 12 now?
No,
Something
it's
like
not
that.
12.
It's so long that
I don't think it's 12.
it is 12. We had 25 this time last year.
So
No,
we
I thought it was
definitely
closer.
stepped up. We stepped
I thought
up
it was
and then
closer
dropped
than that.
down.
Rodney, let me ask you, how many points do you think United are going to get this year?
I don't know, man. I really,
I'm saying
really don't
75
know.
plus. For me, it's going to be 75 plus.
Which is competitive.
And that's progress, because in the last 2-3 years, it's been 65, 66. You can't tell me he's not improving the team and he's not getting more points on the board. He is. It's a fact.
Yeah, he is. But guys, most of your reasons have been he's top of the league. But
No, for me, no, it's not even that for me. For me, it was
okay.
last year was his first full season. His remit was get us back in top 4. He did that. He came third. He got us top 4. Okay. This year, for me, it was close the gap to the top 2 and make us an established top 4 club. Looks like all purposes we're going to be doing that. We're going to be closing the gap to the top 2, and we're going to be top 4 next year. My aim was to go into a title race and go in for the title.
Yeah. So what about
he's doing his job?
We've not heard anyone mention the fact we got bounced out of the Champions League in the group stage. Come on, guys, man, please.
No, the Champions League was poor. No, don't get me wrong. The thing is with Ollie, I think with the big games, especially in the top 6 games, but at the elite level games, I think he can show his inability to compete. I.e., we went to PSG away. Somehow he got us to win. I don't know what happened, but at home, to control the game, Fred was in a yellow card, and Fred was just rushing into every tackle. Man, you talk about man management, tactical management. Take the hothead at the game. He keeps him on red card. We know what happens. Leipzig, we set up 3-5-2. We're down how many goals in the first few minutes? So there are at the elite level, the European level. I think Ollie will get found out. But for what he's doing now with what he's had, come on, man, he's top of the.
So are we saying that you guys are giving him a 7 and an 8 because you don't expect much from him?
7.
He's overachieving. He's overachieving.
He's doing his job. No, for me, it's 7 because he's doing his job.
He's overachieving.
Okay.
We should
I give him a 7 because of the points improvement on last year is significant. Plus, I feel like he was handicapped in the transfer market because we know exactly what we needed, and he got basically none of that. So I think, given the players we bought and his position in August, where I thought we might finish like 6th compared to what the other teams have done, I think to get us in and around the top of the table is an achievement. So yeah, there's been mistakes and there's been bad performances. So 7 revised down from the 8.
Yeah, I just think my problem is, like, a month ago we could have given him a 4, and a month before that we could have given him a 0. So it's very up and down. But all right, if we give him a 7, hopefully he stays where he is, and hopefully we win the league. Like, I'm not gonna wish anything bad on him so that I can be proven right. Hopefully everything you men are saying stays the way it is. But if it doesn't, when we come back on here in a month or so, man are saying 4 out of 10, I'm gonna say this is why I gave him a steady 6.
I hear that. But what will be key if we are to challenge for the league is I think Paul Pogba, and that's a couple of people have sort of alluded to that in their questions. I'm going to amalgamate the questions now. Do you think what if we are to win the league? What will be key? Do you think it's Pogba? Do you think it's Bruno? Do you think it's Rashford? What's key if we are going to somehow win this league?
Pogba, by playing a lot more games is going to, because the thing is, like, we're playing teams like Burnley, Fulham that we're going to play. If Bailly plays, if you watch the game, like, we're comfortable at the back because of the change of pace he's got. So we're not as vulnerable. And then it allows Pogba to sit in the pivot and go a bit further upfield and drive the team forward. and as you saw against Burnley and hopefully against Fulham in a couple of days, it's going to get us the 3 points where we last year we probably would have got 1 point. So for me, if we want to win the title or go in the title race, Bailly and Pogba have to have a big 6 months for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Go on, Stevie.
No, I agree with that completely. I also think Martial needs to turn up as well. A lot of our goals have come from Rashford and what's his face, Bruno, and we can't rely on them to be fit the entire season. Like Rashford always tends to have either a dip or an injury, and Bruno, like if we're gonna play him continuously, he's gonna run out of steam. So, like Martial, he hasn't been firing this season. He needs to come good and score some important goals if he's not going to score many.
Rodney, do you agree? Martial step up, Pogba and Bailly permanent fixtures in the team for us to be in with any chance?
Yeah, I think Stevie makes a great point. Martial, we need another goal source, because the problem is, whilst it hasn't been an issue now, to go another 18 games or so, or whatever, relying on Bruno or Rashford, is going to be a huge ask. So whilst it's not an issue now, I think deeper into the season, is it sustainable? So Martial definitely needs to come in with some goals. Maybe Greenwood, a few more. Maybe Greenwood needs to get a few starts before he can get goals. So I'll go Pogba, a few more goals. Also, Ollie's in-game management needs to be a bit better. And then I think if we're going to win the league, it will be down to that in-game management and also more goals.
Yeah.
More goals.
He's improved it a bit this season, though. His in-game management.
Yeah. I mean, has he? I'm not going to argue, because I've been like, if you're going to say he has, but I'm going to just. I feel like you know what I feel like. Friday night, he writes down the subs. Come Saturday or Sunday, that's what's happening.
Yeah, regardless. Regardless.
Do you know what gave that away? It was when Martial came off in the 60th minute. I just knew this guy had it planned like 4 days before. 60th minute, Martial off.
Yeah, regardless of the in play, he does. Yeah, so rigid.
You could just tell. The clock turned to 60 and he went get off.
Yeah. That's literally what it is. Him and his team sat down and said, when the man don't play FIFA and that, and it's 0-0, on the 60th minute, they normally make a sub. So who's our sub going to be now? You know what? Martial's not really been good. It's going to be Martial for Cavani. They're not watching the game. They don't care about nothing. That's going to be their sub. And time again, there's been a few occasions where he's made subs and it's been impactful, but more often than not, I feel like his subs are set in stone, and that's what's going to happen. And I feel like he's not even reactive, because he doesn't react to what's happening in the game. He's not proactive. I feel like he's going to have to improve in that area if he wants to, because we've got another 18 games to go. We've got Europa League coming in. I feel like he's going to have to really, really work on the in-game, because we're going to have players that are going to be even more tired, because we've got the Europa League, and whilst our squad is deep enough, we still need a few players on the pitch for us to look competitive. We still need Bruno, Rashford, Pogba, Bailly, Lindelof, Maguire, even. We still need these players to play in most of the games. So I feel like he's going to have to be a bit more than what he's been at the moment. If come at the end of the season, we're going to be looking at putting trophies in the cabinet.
That's it. That's true. It's true. He needs to take a few more risks. So just to finish off, we did a load of questions. Sorry, guys, we couldn't get through to all your questions. We'll be here for more than 2 hours, and we know your attention spans aren't that good. Let's just get predictions for Fulham. We spoke about the teams we wanted, but what predictions? Aka, what scoreline are you going for Wednesday?
I think it'll be very similar to the Burnley game. They're going to stay up to frustrate. We're going to have a lot of the ball. A 1 or 2. I'll say 2-0. I think we'll get a 2-0. We're looking better defensively as well the last 6-7 games. 2-0.
Who's scoring?
I think Pogba might step up again. I've got a feeling Pogba will step up again. I think Martial's due as well. I think the French boys will get us the result on Wednesday.
It's l'équipe de France. Okay. Rodney, what about you?
I'm going to go 1-0. And I'm going to go with a Martial goal.
Jeez. Frenchman to step up as well. Stevie, you backing Martial to come good?
Yeah, no, literally, I was gonna go 1-2-0. Martial, one of the goals. I think he's cute enough to get a goal against Fulham, and I can see us I mean, in his play, man. No.
Brother, how many words could you have used to describe his play? Like, just if you want to say the man's cute, leave that to the group chat, innit? You can't have the listeners.
But yeah, no, I think I can see us getting a second when they're trying to chase it in the last few minutes. So I'll probably go Marshall, maybe Greenwood to get on the score sheet as well.
So we're going for the away win. We're going for back to normal business when it comes to our away form. But yeah, that's been another episode of MUGA. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Aka. Thank you, Stevie, for tuning in. Obviously, disappointing draw at Anfield, but let's get back to winning ways tomorrow at Craven Cottage. All right, people, take care. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace.
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 When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.